Farm4Profit Podcast. Take a listen, have a blast. Farm4Profit Podcast. Learn about farming while having a laugh. Farm4Profit Podcast.
Hey, listeners, welcome back to the Farm4Profit Podcast. This is Tanner.
Corey's here.
Hey, I let you do it.
Nice.
Getting you back into the swing of things. I also tried to sound more masculine in my intro.
Yeah.
Taking the feedback
I
seriously.
think you just went slower.
Just slow. I already speak slowly.
Yep.
Nah, we have a lot of fun with you listeners. We appreciate all the topics that you send to us. 515-207-9640. Or send us an email an email to 515. Could you do that? No.
I think you could.
Farm4ProfitLLC@gmail.com. That's certainly going to get to us. Always appreciate those 5-star reviews out there on Apple, chasing us down, subscribing on Spotify and YouTube. We thank you so much for that.
Yeah, and I'd say interact with us. If you see one of our short form videos out there, if you just drop a thumbs up, or if you see something you like and you share it with your friends, it all helps.
Yeah, everything matters. It really does all add up very, very quickly for us. So thank you so much for that. We did have a message that came in through Facebook. I got to get to that one.
Like a DM? Someone
It
slid into our
was
DMs?
a DM, and it's not this person that wants to pay us to advertise their glass jars. But no, we have, congratulations on your 500th podcast. It's been wonderful. Keep up the great work, guys. I enjoy the podcast very much. They are very interesting, entertaining, and informative. So appreciate
Still
that.
surreal that it's 500. It does not feel like we've done this 500 times.
I don't know. Some days it does.
Yeah. Well, we've probably actually done it like 520 sometimes.
That's true.
And there's probably 20 that never got aired.
That is true.
Right.
But this won't be one of them.
Yep.
This one's going to be way too important. Again, a piece of information that you guys wanted more background, history, understanding of. Hedging.
Hedging. I mean, everything we do in commodity farming has risk, right? And we're selling commodities, we're buying, buying puts, selling puts, calls, all that stuff, all the fun stuff that you try to learn. And I don't feel like I have a good handle on it. So let's learn some today.
Well, yes. And we didn't want to simply just talk about it. We wanted to try and find one of the most recent and most advanced tools that can help with this, and someone who can hopefully make it to where we understand it, simplify it a little bit.
Right.
Did you see what I did there?
Yeah, I did.
We are excited to welcome Mark
Halliday.
Haladi.
He said we could say it two different ways.
He said we could say it whatever way we wanted to say it. No, Mark from SimpleHedge. Welcome to the podcast.
Hey guys, great to be here.
How do you say it?
I say Mark Haladi.
Haladi.
I thought it'd been really funny if you'd have just came back and said SimpleHedge. How do you say it? SimpleHedge.
Mark SimpleHedge Haladi. So you said that's Ukrainian?
It is, yes.
Okay. Did you come from Ukraine, or is it just a Ukrainian name?
Ukrainian ancestry. So my family's from Saskatchewan in Canada.
Okay.
A lot of good Ukrainian farmers up in that area.
And where are you at now?
Now I'm in Calgary, Alberta.
Okay.
And SimpleHedge works all across Canada and the U.S.
Nice. And he's got his lumberjack red and black patterned shirt on.
True Canadian.
True Canadian fashion.
So give us a little background about yourself. Did you grow up on a farm?
I did not know. I grew up in Saskatchewan, had a lot of family friends who had farms. So I spent some summers on the farm doing all sorts of different activities. And then my passion was in finance and engineering. So after doing that for some time, built and sold 2 apps, I wanted to come back and look at the food industry, look at farming. And interestingly enough, tech has advanced a lot. I was blown away to learn about all the precision agriculture, all the different seeds. It was amazing. But what happened here was the farmers were almost overwhelmed with the amount of tech. And they're like, well, when will this pay back? I don't want to invest now and get a payback in 5 years. I need money this year. And so we talked more about the marketing side and just how much good marketing can change your profitability. And so we got into that, of course, forward selling some amount of product every year. But then we started talking about the options in the futures market. And I started to realize a bunch of my friends didn't use options or futures, and they were farming. And I couldn't believe that. I said, guys, like, why aren't you doing this? And they said to me, well, it feels risky. Feels like I'm gambling. And I said, you're gambling if you don't use futures. You're going long $2 million, $5 million worth of product every year and just hoping for the best. You've got to start using futures and options. Coming from a finance background myself, I thought, it's pretty intuitive, should be pretty easy to do. But there's no good tools for it. So decided to build SimpleHedge and got that into the market about a year ago.
So the problem that you're solving is not enough people are using futures.
That's right.
Yep.
And there's a lot of problems with that as well. So elevators can lock you into a certain basis if you committed grain. If you oversell, you might have might not be able to deliver if you have a bad year. And then not only that, but I was talking to one guy who oversold. Drought came in, couldn't deliver. But then the prices have gone up as well because there was a drought. And so the grain company's calling and asking him for cash. And the next year, he undersells. And then the price goes down. And then he can't make a profitable year. Whereas if he used futures in combination with forward selling, you can kind of lock in a profit every year.
Yeah, and I'm interested to dive into the simplicity of the tool that you built, because we haven't been doing this for 6 years. It's not the first time we've talked about grain marketing. Mm-hmm. It's certainly not the first time that we've talked about the tools that are available to help you with your grain marketing. And ultimately, it always stems down to discipline.
Mm-hmm.
Now, how do you feel about that discipline?
Yeah, I think it's important to have a plan and stick to it. And when I think about making a plan, not on my farm myself, but when I talk to folks, the idea of ROI farming comes up quite a bit. So prices right now are a lot lower than they were for some period, especially during the COVID years, but yet some input prices are higher. But still, this is the important point, still there'll be a few weeks every year where prices are sufficiently high to lock in a good ROI. So if you have that target ROI in mind, you can lock that in as soon as it's hit, as opposed to trying to guess if prices are going to go up or going to go down. And so the discipline I think is most important is to make sure you're selling futures or buying puts when you're at your target ROI and not guessing on the direction of price.
Do you have a target ROI?
I can't say that I do. I'm just trying to make money. Yeah. So, I mean, knowing your numbers, right, is the first step, because you have to know your numbers before you could even say what you want for ROI.
Yep.
So normally we just try to be positive.
You're aiming for like 5 or 10% then?
I would say, yeah. Yep.
Yeah. And how about
what's achievable, Mark?
Well, we see guys up at 25% sometimes, which is only possible maybe a handful of weeks or handful of months every year. But if you're locking in these high prices and you keep your cost production relatively disciplined, you can get these 25% returns. And that's on cash. And so when guys have some leverage on their farm, the return on equity can be 50%. So really you can make a great return farming if you're using SimpleHedge effectively and the futures market.
So you mentioned that, sorry to cut you off, that you do use this for your farm. So are you farming a little bit now?
I don't have a farm myself.
Okay. No, I just wanted to make sure that if you were playing with bushels of your own or how you were using the tool personally. I cut you off.
No, go ahead.
What do you think the barrier to entry is? I mean, you said farmers ask or say it sounds risky, and you say it'd be risky not to, but why do you think the adoption has been so low?
I think we've been missing a tool like SimpleHedge. So before this, guys would go to seminars and they'd be sent home with a workbook with homework. And instead of sending guys home with homework, we're sending guys home with answers. And the answers that we send guys home with are always going to be up to date based on the market. So it's not like a PDF or a printout that goes out of date in 1 week. This will always be up to date. So to make it more clear, I talked to one guy, been farming for 20 years. He tells me I've been talking about puts for 20 years as well. But I never really understood it until I saw it visualized for my farm. And he saw that hockey stick chart of profit per acre as price goes down or goes up. And it was just visualized for his individual farm based on what he was farming, his cost of production, and the market price of the put. And so he looked at this and he said, okay, if prices don't move at all, I pay for the put. If prices go down, I'm protected. But if prices go up, I participate in the upside as well. Why wouldn't I do this? This is a no-brainer. And so it was cool to see that light bulb moment go on when we could visualize it for his individual farm, as opposed to just a textbook that's maybe made for everybody.
So why farming? I mean, there's other commodities and things that you could simply hedge. Yeah. Why just agriculture?
Well, I'm fundamentally interested in our food system and agriculture. So wanted to start there. So maybe a bit of a bias based on where I grew up or what my personal interests are. Mm-hmm. But why hedging in agriculture? It's because every year you got to go long again, whatever you're growing. So if you're speculating on gold or maybe oil, that's a choice you can make to get in the market, out of the market. But in farming, you're in the market every year. So it's you got to be hedged. You got to be smart about that decision.
And explain why we are long as farmers, owning the physical, growing the physical. We're just always long, right? Mm-hmm. Explain that process to our listeners. Yeah.
So the idea of being long, for folks that know about stocks, is when you buy a stock or you buy any commodity, you're long that commodity. So if you imagine you'd invested, say, $3 million, but you could only invest it in one stock, you'd sure be thoughtful about how you sell that stock down throughout the year. You'd be watching it, you'd be paying attention. But it's the same thing in agriculture. When you plant your field, you are $3 million long that commodity. And so you better be thoughtful about how you sell that down and how you hedge that throughout the year.
Right.
But do you have any more questions on that? I'm from a pretty deep finance background, so maybe the use of long and short is still a bit confusing to some.
It's not so much long and short. I think our listeners know that. It was more just like when you say it in passing that, well, you're already long. Mm-hmm. Okay, why? Well, it's because you're going to grow the crop, whether it's $2 or $5 or whatever, right? You're going to grow it. That's what you do. You farm. Mm-hmm. So as long as you have the physical grain or commodity in your possession and it's not hedged on the board or sold, you are long because you hope that it goes up in price.
Yep.
Right? That's what I was trying to get through there. So for sake of discussion there. Mm-hmm. But so what is SimpleHedge?
Yeah, SimpleHedge is a modern web app or iOS app that makes hedging easy for farmers and ranchers.
How?
So first, we have a very simple sign-up process. The same way that Instagram or Facebook just feels easy and fun to use, we've built SimpleHedge the same way. There were apps before this, but each of them felt pretty clunky, pretty heavy. Maybe you had to input a bunch of data. You have to keep it up to date yourself. But with SimpleHedge just works the way you'd hope it works. It works like a modern app. So we use AI, we use all sorts of different technology to have as much as possible built in there for you.
And we can say that it is easy. We had not, full disclosure,
so easy. Tanner can do it.
Yeah, we had not signed up for it yet. And before the call, he asked us to download the app. And I think we were both downloaded and signed up within 2 minutes.
Yeah, 2 to 5.
Yeah.
And probably the longest that it took was me trying to choose what password I wanted to put in.
What'd you choose?
You're funny. So it doesn't just work on iPhones, right? The app is available everywhere.
Everywhere, yeah. So on desktop, computer. Go ahead.
Okay, go through maybe what some of these other apps had that wasn't user-friendly, and then what you did to make it user-friendly.
Yeah, sounds good. So mainly stick to SimpleHedge here. But one big thing we did differently was we put physical and financial into one app. So there's other apps that you could use that would track just your physical inventory and your tickets, but you'd have no idea what your financial positions were. There'd be other apps that would show your financial positions, but you wouldn't know how that tied to your physical. And in farming, it's important to look at those two together, especially when you're buying financial positions to hedge your physical. So we put financial and physical into one spot. Go ahead.
So I signed up, or we both signed up, and we put in the acres that we were farming and what crops. And then you have an expected profit that you spit out. Mine's at just over 300,000. But I didn't put anything else in besides my acres. So, like, what is that number being derived off of? Because you don't know my inputs or what my rent is or anything like that.
That's right. So we have some pretty clever ways of estimating cost of production for every commodity in every state. And then what that does is that gives you that instant expected profit, but it also lets you fully customize it to your farm. So now that you have that cost of production built in there for you, you can see exactly maybe what's wrong with our estimate and correct it yourself and get your analysis up to date for you.
Why do I feel if I started tweaking stuff, my number would go down?
Profit's going down.
See how good your AI is, I guess.
Yeah.
That is cool. Yeah, you drop a pin on your farm location, and it just spit that out within a couple minutes. It was kind of neat.
Yep. And the
So
next
can I
thing we do is
physically-
simplify the number of options for you.
Right.
So one thing that can be difficult is there's maybe 1,000 different ways to hedge with futures and options. And so instead of having to look through 1,000 different options, what we do is we highlight the ones that are likely best for your farm based on the current market prices and what guys are trading and where you're growing.
Okay. So you can actually go in here and I can sell futures, I can buy puts or do all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, you can do all that right in the app.
And I'm assuming I have to set that up through a brokerage, or are you the brokerage?
No, that's the really cool part. So we're always putting farmers first. Some of the apps are maybe built by grain companies or built by different folks that put themselves first, but we're always putting farmers first. That being said, we have amazing brokerage partners. So on the farmer's behalf, we go out and we talk to all the brokers, and we get the brokers signed up on SimpleHedge as well. So chances are, for your viewers, their broker might already be on SimpleHedge. So for them to start using the app, they just need to email their broker and say, hey, I want to turn on SimpleHedge. And if we're signed up with that broker, they can turn on SimpleHedge just with a quick email.
How do I know if my broker is working with SimpleHedge?
We have most of the major brokers on SimpleHedge today. If not, just email your broker.
Yeah, if my broker was teamed up with SimpleHedge and hadn't told me about it, I don't know if they'd still be my broker.
Right?
Maybe give them a chance. We're relatively new, but you're right. We got a bunch of brokers right now rolling out SimpleHedge to all their customers because folks are just excited to use it.
What if I'm completely new? Say I'm a young farmer or just a beginning farmer, doesn't have to be young, that doesn't have I've never hedged before or anything like that. Where do I even start?
Yeah, so you download SimpleHedge for free, and using the app is always free. So then when you want to go ahead and start, you can go through a quick process with us, a quick phone call, and we can hook you up with the broker that best suits your needs. So some guys, they're just getting started, but they're very financially forward. They want to take it into their own hands. They want a low-cost broker where they do it themselves, and we got that for them. Some guys want to use SimpleHedge, see the analysis, but then still have somebody who knows their farm deeply, be able to have conversations about that, and then make those decisions with a partner. In that case, we have full-service brokers that are absolutely awesome, helping farmers make a lot of money as well. So depending on what the farmer wants, we have different brokerage partners that we can hook them up with.
What's your scope? Like how many users do you have going on now, or is that proprietary?
No, it's a lot, in the thousands of farmers.
Okay.
And how long has it been available?
It's been out since June last year.
Oh, wow.
So about 1 year. Opened up in the States in January.
So it's free to use the app. You use other brokers. Like, how do you make money? Like, you can't just be doing this pro bono.
Not quite. But we see great adoption of SimpleHedge. So we'll be serving 10,000 and more farmers soon. And so what we can do is actually keep SimpleHedge incredibly inexpensive. And then the brokers actually pay for it because we save the brokers a lot of time. So we save them time in kind of looking through maybe different Excel spreadsheets to figure out what do each of my clients have. We have an entirely separate app for the brokers that lets them see what customers are holding which positions. So it saves them a lot of time. The customers themselves get to see the app. And so then the broker needs to do less back and forth covering the basics. And they can talk more about strategy and decisions as opposed to just market updates. So overall, we save the brokers a lot of time. And so they're willing to pay for SimpleHedge.
So like I clicked on my soybean tab
Yeah.
in the account that I set up. Right now, because I haven't input any information, it tells me that 0% of my production has been covered.
Mm-hmm.
Tells me that 0% of my production is forward sold. Tells me 0% of my inventory is covered. But these are all things that I will be able to glance at once I've got more information inputted. But then it has the projected planted acres, it has the target yield, and gives me the opportunity to put in my actual yield once this happens. Probably makes another automatic adjustment for me. But then I can select what basis my target is, looking and entering in what my cost of production is going to be because you've got your estimate in there. Even has the ability for me to put in my crop insurance. So it can get very detailed.
Oh, absolutely. I think it's the most detailed, most accurate expected profit calculator out there.
Yeah, I go into your cost of production and you've got estimates in there already, but it is very detailed. I would argue, I bet some of our listeners don't even have the information that you're including to where you can follow this estimate. So where are you getting the basis for this cost of production?
Yeah, that was started with the fundamental public data on this. So it's state by state averages across different crops. And then we updated it based on inflation and the different cost changes since the publications had been made, and also did that on a state by state level. So we got relatively granular estimates here that are relatively real time for folks.
It is a true cost of production the way farmers put it together because it has $0 in there for living expense. Right? My time's free. Good to go.
Yeah, you're not taking away my living expense.
I know. My profitability is going to go down when I put that number in there. Let's get back to the way that this tool can be used. So I get in, set up a call. So just for the listeners' disclosure, Corey and I punched in our information on the app. We immediately got a text that connected me to Evan. Did you get Evan?
Yeah.
Yep. And an email that followed up to where I can schedule a meeting with Evan. How do you see the top tier of your clients using this app?
The top tier, in what sense?
Top tier, best performing. Ones that appear to be the most profitable.
Oh, yeah. Guys are locking in huge profits using SimpleHedge. So the most profitable guys have been using futures and options before, but they didn't have an app that delivered them the real-time information. And so now they're able to make better trades. So I'll just talk through that a little bit. So there's a lot of different newsletters out there. There's a lot of different people with views on the market. So at SimpleHedge, we're never taking a view on the market, but we are giving you the real-time data analyzed in a way that's helpful for you. So it's not quite released yet, but we're going to have all the different fundamental supply and demand reports built right into SimpleHedge for you. So every farmer can see how are exports tracking, how's planting tracking, and just be able to make really informed decisions. So the most profitable farmers are guys that have been hedging before, but are now able to better hedge given SimpleHedge.
Do you have any integrations? Like if I'm already using a finance software and I have all my inputs in there, is there any way to like easily put them over?
Not today. Not today.
Okay.
If For your cost of production, though, if you already know that cost of production, you don't have to put it in line by line. You can just put in one line for each product that you're growing.
Okay, makes sense. Yeah, I just know how long it takes to go through, like when I use like Harvest Profit, you got to go through how much did you pay for Roundup, how much are you applying per acre, all that kind of stuff. So it's tedious, I would say. I wouldn't want to do that again.
Right.
So you can just put that one answer, whatever your answer is, put that one line cost production in there if you know it yourself.
Got it.
So if we set up our target ROI and we start using this tool, you mentioned that there may only be small windows of time to where you can lock in that target ROI. So do I set triggers? How do I make sure that I hit those spots? Is that where you make it simple for me?
That is exactly where we make it simple for you. So my recommendation to folks is download it now, get set up with whichever broker you prefer so that you're ready when the market rallies. You don't miss that rally. And when the market does rally, we have two easy options for you. One we call protect your profit. And you'll get notified as soon as there is a put contract where after the cost of that put, you can lock in profit for all the bushels that you're hedging. So we've defined that to be a 3% profit margin. So if your cost of production is high or the price has been low, you want to make sure that you can cover your debt payments. You might want to protect your profit. Then when the market's running, we have another easy hedge that's called capture the high. So as soon as there's a 20% return on investment available, again, given the commodity prices and the cost of the put, we'll notify you that you can make that 20%. And whenever that's available, that's an awesome time to take that position.
So you notify. It doesn't just automatically do it.
Yeah, we'd notify you.
That would be illegal, probably.
Well, but I think about this, right? So I get phone calls and text messages, and sometimes I can't get to them because I'm in the middle of treating cattle or we're doing a task that doesn't allow me to get. And if during that time period I miss it,
or just like physically not paying attention. There's times I'm just not like planting. I
got a text from Chris yesterday at like 8:00 in the morning, and I responded to him at 7 at night.
Yeah. Yep.
So is it illegal? Can I not do it that way?
You probably have targets.
Okay.
Right? Could you put targets in?
Yeah. Today it's all based on notifications. But what's interesting there is that I like it because I get, many texts throughout the day. You got to sort them, got to read them. But there's a few apps that when I get a notification from that app, I know it's important. And so with SimpleHedge, it's not just a text message, but it's a notification that you can set up on your actual iPhone. So you get that real SimpleHedge notification. And when that happens, you can just click through with a few clicks to put the trade on. And so the real way this is helping guys is that you don't have to make that phone call anymore. So you can be working with a great broker who's also on SimpleHedge. You can place that trade and have that executed without having to make any phone calls. Whereas before, when prices were rallying, it's not just you that's calling, but it's you and 200 other clients, right? And so how do you get through on the phone when everybody wants to get through at the same time?
This is really cool. I just went into the $4 put, and you have like two slide graphs. You can change the price and then how many contracts you want to hedge. Yeah, and gives you a really cool visual.
How'd you get to that?
Of how that would affect the chart.
Yeah.
That's very cool.
How'd you get to that on the app?
I went to corn and then put, and I just said lock in $4 per bushel. And,
there it is.
Yeah.
That does look simple.
But it wants me to update my production. So is this strictly for hedging, or could someone use this as like a spec account?
We don't differentiate between the two, but most guys are using it to hedge.
Most.
We should probably aren't traders or people, whenever they talk about this, aren't you supposed to read like a disclaimer?
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, this is not financial advice. This is helping folks get set up with an app.
There you go.
And past performance is not indicative of future outcomes or
futures and options offer unlimited risk.
Yeah.
You could potentially lose all your money and then some.
And then some.
Yeah, we are fully compliant with the regulatory bodies, and on the website, there's all the relevant disclosures. So
Got it.
folks should check that out. SimpleHedge.com.
SimpleHedge. What are we missing about it? I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah, so we made it really, really intuitive. And what's the best part is that it's always customized to your farm. So there's a lot of general advice out there, but there's not a lot that's really tailored to your farm and always up to date with the market. So that's what's awesome about it. And then it's also a tool where you can track your financial positions, as we're discussing, but that's always in combination with your physical as well. So you can track each of your forward sales. You can track when they're delivered. You can track your inventory there. So you just get this full marketing view all in one app.
What about recommendations and education? I mean, us as farmers, gosh, we get 10 different marketing services trying to give us their recommendations. Do you have any where in SimpleHedge that you're planning or are doing that right now?
Yeah, so we won't do recommendations, but what we'll do is we'll give farmers the facts presented in the best way possible so that each person can make the decision they want to make. So all the analysts are essentially looking at the same data that each farmer will be able to have in SimpleHedge. So we're giving power to the farmer without having to hire an analyst. They get this like high quality analysis done for them. Every time a new USDA report comes out, every time there's a new export report, every time hedge funds change their position in the markets, we're always telling the farmers that. And then from time to time, there's going to be exceptional circumstances in these facts, and we'll present that and we'll flag that for folks. So it won't be a buy-sell recommendation, but we're going to give every farmer the best information, essentially the same information that the grain companies and the hedge funds are looking at. We're going to give that to the farmer. And they can choose to make their trades either self-directed or in conversation with the great brokers that we have on SimpleHedge.
So is there a farmer or a farm size that's too small to find value in this?
No. Got guys down at 200 acres. We got guys up at 30,000 acres.
Yeah, because I could see, right, a minimum contract, you need, for corn, you probably need 25 acres.
Because you're talking like if you bought a contract of 5,000 bushel.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's very obtainable for a lot of our listener base.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I wonder if there's anybody that would download this that's a non-farmer to kind of keep up with things. Create a virtual farm. Not actually put any positions on, but what would it look like if I was...
That is interesting. Like you had a online farm, like you were a
farm
gamer, farm sim guy, and you wanted to...
There might be better farm sim games out there. I don't know. I like the one where you can drive the tractor around.
Yeah.
I wonder if one of our listeners would have any interest in doing that. I'd be curious to see if they find value.
There's your fantasy farming.
Oh. We could run a SimpleHedge fantasy farming league.
Yeah,
ooh, there we go.
Who can hedge and market and lock in the most profit?
Yes.
You all start out with the same acres of crops and all that, and see who can do it.
Still award points because you'd have head-to-head matchups. Who performed better this week?
Yeah.
You have to have a minimum sale, like you got or a minimum hedge or something along those lines. You must, if it's a 10-week season, you must do a minimum of 5% of your crop or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess I could ask you guys, I think we've covered most of the basics, but you downloaded SimpleHedge today. Maybe running some farms. Any reasons you wouldn't want to use SimpleHedge?
I don't see any reasons at all. I mean, everything you've said about its simplicity, and I brought up that chart. I mean, it looks very cool. I
like how I don't have to switch from my broker. Like I still, as long as they use SimpleHedge, I don't have to have a new relationship.
Yeah,
No.
I think that would be the only hurdle is if your broker is on it or not, or if you don't have a broker now, finding one that you want to work with.
Yep. Oh, yeah. We have great brokers. So if you don't have a broker right now, no problem. We have awesome brokers lined up. It's more for that first case when you like your broker, you don't want to leave him. You just make sure he's on SimpleHedge. But I think we have most brokers on SimpleHedge now.
Yeah,
they love using it too. It literally makes their lives easier. and helps them make all their clients more money. So they're pretty happy about it.
Right. And it looks like I would need to finish setting up my account, which I assume would have like financial and all that kind of stuff. Information says it would take about 10 minutes to complete.
Yeah, that's right.
Yep.
Yeah,
maybe less, maybe like 4 minutes, but
yeah.
You open the app, it's got 3 buttons across the bottom. Basically a home screen, that I kind of view as your dashboard. Then it's got the charts and directly related to my watch list. You'll be able to look at the 1 month, 3 month, 1 year, 5 year. Super simple. And then that's where you dove deeper into each commodity.
Yep.
To be able to make some decisions.
Right.
yeah.
So this is just for hedging. You're not going to go physically sell a contract to the local elevator here, right?
We don't have anything like that planned.
Yep.
But the mission of the company is to always build the software that farmers need the most.
Mm-hmm.
So we're not going to, I can tell you for sure, we're not going to start a tractor company. But we're a very stable company. We're around for the long term. So when you think about, getting to know how to use SimpleHedge or investing in it, we're going to be around for the long term. And so we've heard a lot of things that folks want outside of hedging. For example, and this one's only to the listeners who are maybe hedging today already, but the different margin requirements or the different ways banks think about loans relative to what you're growing or how hedged you are, that can be improved a lot. So that's something that we could look at and we can help solve for all your listeners and farmers across Canada and the US. So we got a big list of exciting things to work on, maybe 20 different ideas, and we'll be prioritizing that and rolling out new features pretty much every 2 months.
Now, is there any way that this could cost our audience anything? You said right now the brokers are the ones that are paying. Are they going to get into this and 2 months down the road, now there's a charge?
No, it's free to use what we have here.
Pretty easy to calculate an ROI. Actually, it probably makes it more difficult to calculate an ROI if it doesn't cost you anything.
Yeah. I've got a lot of guys who want to pay for it, but our goal is to just help as many farmers as possible. So we want to keep it free for folks, and then it seems to be working out so far.
What is the problem with bankers and how they view the margin requirements? I've heard it's not the first time I've heard that.
Yeah, so essentially a lot of banks won't consider your future crop when they're looking at your assets. Another problem is that banks will think that your future crop, if they consider it, they'll consider it risky. But if you hedge it, some lenders will consider your asset less risky then. So they'll give you better interest rates if you're sufficiently hedged on your production.
And protected insurance-wise.
Yeah. That's another cool part of the app. If you want to look at how much insurance coverage to get through USDA, we have that all built in. So you get the heat map and you get that full analysis built in right there for you. So when you're looking at buying a put or selling futures or marketing your grain in general, that's just putting in whatever insurance you want. And then all the calculations are going to update based on how that insurance will pay out.
Did you ever give a better interest rate for someone that was hedged, Tanner?
I would argue that it wasn't simply because of that. It was probably more due to the sophistication of their operation and it just being ran as a better business all around. But I could definitely see where that comes into play. It is tough, right, to value something that has not yet been produced. That's why you take a crop insurance guarantee into consideration. But when you look at having to put a margin call on your line of credit, that's usually where it becomes a sticky conversation with lenders.
Yeah, I do know a few lenders in the States personally running decent sized businesses that are giving better loans to folks who are 80% hedged on their production. So it exists. It's maybe a niche product still, but that's the kind of idea where we're always looking to help farmers in the best way we can.
Cool. So if our listeners want to get signed up, they just need to go to simplehedge.com.
You need to go to the App Store.
Yeah, the App Store. So if they have an iPhone, you go to the App Store, download it. SimpleHedge Risk Management is the name of the app. And if they don't have an iPhone, or just prefer using a desktop computer, they can go to simplehedge.com.
Nice. That sounds simple.
It's very simple. I'm interested to, I mean, you've done really well with this. I'm interested to see what you have coming in the future for more products. I know you'll have some good stuff.
Absolutely. Even by the time this airs, we're going to have new things in the app. So I'm excited for that as well.
That is
I guess
cool.
for your listeners as well, we're always building the app. So we're very open to feedback. So as folks want to prioritize some of the things that I've talked about or want to see the software do more, feel free to reach out to us.
Well, you're going to get a lot of fantasy farming requests now from this show.
Yeah,
Well, if we get enough, maybe we can build that in too.
I think that would be a lot of fun. I bet you there'd be a wide range of participants as far as that goes. But I do appreciate you taking the time, Mark. This is a tool that is new, right? Not very many people knew about that. Our audience gets some of the first disclosure here to learn how it works, and maybe they can integrate it into their operation. It's cool to hear that it's cost free. I don't like the word free, but there's no cost to download this app and start using it. So
you should just say it costs a lot of money. Use code Farm4Profit and you get it for free.
I do love that. No, it's been very appreciative of you to join us and to share that.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Yeah, listeners, thanks for tuning in. Hopefully you picked up on something here. Hey, go check it out. Go download it. You can always delete it. I don't suspect that you will. And let us know what you think. Otherwise, until next time, have a good one.